I broke my 4-day water sacred secretion fast yesterday morning, which would have been October 4th, 2025. Today, I spent the morning doing my usual things around the house, doing some meal prepping, getting things ready for the week, and took a shower, washed my hair, and I was drying my hair when I suddenly felt called to write out and detail my desires, my manifestations today. I know that this fast was a reset. I feel it. The slate was wiped clean. All that remained of the old versions of myself, these past versions of me that I've been healing in one way, shape, or form over these past 3 years, have been laid to rest. It's hard to explain, but I just feel it. I know it like I know my name. They've been burned away. And now I am renewed in Christ. I am born again. As I enter this new beginning, this new cycle, 9-year cycle, since we've just completed a 9-year cycle, or this is a 9-year, and so the end of this year would mark the ending of the 9-year cycle that we've been in. But September is also a month of ending cycles. And so that was a lot of what I felt myself moving through in September, which I'm understanding now as I sit here reflecting on this fast, that was part of the reason God called me to do the fast on Tuesday night earlier this past week, which would have been September 30th, 2025. So all of that work, everything that has accumulated, everything that I've gone through in this previous 9 years of my life, which would have been 2017 would have been the first year, right? Because 2017 adds up to 10, adds up to 1. And that means that would have been the first year of the cycle. And part of this has been going back to that year and looking at where was I, what was going on, and all the stuff that has come since then, and all the different things that I've moved through. And it just really puts it in perspective that I've spent all this time in these 9 years becoming more self-aware, learning to heal myself, learning to change from the inside out. And beginning in 2022, I started to learn about shadow work, and that's when I began my shadow work. And then I spent that first year, deep into learning what my dominant thought paradigm was, learning what my beliefs are, what my whole belief system is, limiting beliefs, but also my, all the beliefs that lead to our dominant thought paradigm, which is our operating system. And I started to look at all of those things in that year, and I started to trace back, where did this come from? Where did I adopt this belief from? And as I did that with each one I broke down, then I had to go through the healing process around it, forgiving the person or the place or the circumstance that led to that, forgiving myself for subscribing to it, releasing it, allowing myself to feel the emotions around it and let it go. And then I spent another year and a half or so of doing deep healing work and embracing and activating and strengthening my spiritual gifts and deepening my healing and moving through that layered process of, healing this and then releasing, and then the next layer comes and then you heal it again and you release it, and so on and so forth. And so having done that all this time, over all these years, having gone through dark nights of the soul and many, ego deaths and layers of ego death and all of it, I am now renewed in Christ. I am born again through this recent fast. And I've done fasts in the past. I've done other fasts, but I feel like this one was more of a clearing, a wiping of the slate. It's a fresh start, a fresh beginning. And now is the time to make clear what I desire. I realize now, reflecting on this fast, reflecting on these years, reflecting on all that I've learned, all the revelations, all the things God has revealed to me in this time, the truth about the world we live in, the truth about religion, the truth about faith, the truth about God, and the real truth and the real meaning beneath what the Bible is actually teaching us, especially the words of Yeshua and the life of Yeshua and what he exemplified and what he was really telling us, what he was really trying to teach us. And so now I realize that I am the author of my story. I am the creator. God's name is the great I am, because God is you. You are God. Each of us is an expression of God. God experiencing itself in your unique human form. And we've been blessed with God's creative abilities. But we've been conditioned to forget that. We've been conditioned to believe that God is up in the sky judging us and angry at everything we make a mistake over and all of that. We grow up conditioned to believe that we have to pray and wait and hope and ask and then it'll be given if we're good. But that's not quite how it works. It's much deeper than that, and it's far too much to explain here, but this is what has become clear to me in this first couple days since I've broken my fast. And so now I'm going to sit here and I'm going to write my new story. I am standing at the threshold of this new beginning, and I am going to write exactly what I want it to look like. And I am going to do this with a heart full of gratitude and thanksgiving, knowing that I get to write it and create it. And God is always with me and always guiding me along the way to bring it to fruition.